Right guys, welcome back to my latest video. It's an absolutely pouring down and I'm setting just off from Lincoln. I've just had a meal, probably my last cheap meal to be honest. I'm just going to tell you a bit more about what I'm doing. Coming out of Lincoln and out of an area that I used to live very close by here a long time ago, and when I didn't have to look right before I turned out of here. And I've got just an absolute ton of great memories from this area. I just want to quickly turn if I can. I can't, so forget about that. Just coming out of here, heading over Pelham Bridge. No, it's not Pelham Bridge, it's the Lincoln University flyover. What am I talking about? And like I say, very, very heavy rain, you can probably hear it. But I just wanted to do a video as I head back towards the northeast. Both talking about what I've learned about my life. I think I'm going to give you first the update, but just before I do that, just to say sorry I'm not clean shaven. It always makes me look bigger. I'm looking around at tons of university accommodation, university buildings, and I've got so many memories here from 15 years ago I graduated here. In fact, 15 years ago, and I'd actually left. My last day here was my 21st birthday. And looking back, I had such a great time here. There's literally, I look up there, and I'd just love to show you that view. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll go onto Google Maps because I won't get the chance while I'm driving. I have used the hands-free kit, by the way, guys, just so you know. I won't get the chance to show you, but I'm going to try and get a shot of this view. If I watch this video back to edit it, obviously I post it as I do it. I just would love to show you guys the view, probably on a nicer day, of what I'm looking at right now on the flyover. And this was kind of my area, you know, literally everywhere I go here. I can remember walking up here with friends. I can remember walking up to go towards football trials. I can remember, you know, just driving up here with friends in 2003. You know, all the memories in the world from this area. An amazing thing to come back, and it gives you a lot of, like, you know, I'm almost autistic, to be honest. I've done tests and I'm right on the borderline of sort of high functioning. My God, this rain, wow, absolutely fleeing down. So it's probably going to be a 3-hour journey home. I think I'm not going to push it. Yeah, just a load of memories, and it's great to come back. I don't get back nearly enough. But the update I want to give you, fast forward and past the nostalgia, is that I was considered for a job as the office manager for Laura Pidcock, who's the new MP for North West Durham, taken over from Pat Glass, who I worked for 7 years. That's not worked out. She decided to go in another direction, pick someone else, which is of course fine. I'm disappointed, of course, but you know, life goes on. And it's quite ironic, for the first time as I drive back home, you know, I came down straight away as soon as I knew that for certain I'm going, and I sort of stepped back and looked and thought, you know, this is the first time, and I haven't got a lot of money, but it's not about money, guys, it's about where I am in the world. And I've got to be honest, guys, I'm pretty close to where I really want to be. I'm a county councillor, and I've got that for another roughly 4 years. I'm not necessarily wealthy, but to me, I've learned it's far, far more about what you do with yourself, how you feel, than what you've got. And I really can't emphasise that enough. It is so much more about who you are, and it's quite cliched. Obviously you need money for survival, you know, and I do as well. You know, my kind of, is my mortgage covered, is everything covered, it's an important consideration to me. But if I look at where I am, yes, I'm going to look for another job, and yes, I'll find another job. It's inevitable. I'll do something with myself. But what I'm keen to do as well is not to sell myself out to the point where I'm sitting in an office wishing I was anywhere but where I am. And I've been there before, and I've done it. And as I leave Lincoln now, and I'm just crossing over the main Lincoln bypass, just going straight on towards Gainsborough. I'm really mindful of that thought as I leave Lincoln City Centre behind. You know, I don't, quite often when I come in, there's a turn just literally here now, and you've seen how I've basically been driving out of the city while I've been talking to you, and there's a turn off just on the right here that we're just about to drive past. You might see, if you don't know what you can see, a turn in the rear view mirror to your right or to your left. But you can go up there to kind of through the back way to my sister's house, and that tends to be where I visit, where I go to when I'm coming back from her house. And on this video, guys, I'm going to talk till I stop. Apologies if I have any food on my face. I hope I haven't. I was going to talk to my camera runs out of memory, which might be about 20 to 25 minutes, but it's probably enough for what I want to say. Now, in terms of me just considering, you know, I can quite often go up the back way to visit my sister's house, no pun intended, and I can miss out all of the city centre, which, you know, sometimes is a fairly good idea because there's so much traffic. You just want to get easy in, easy out, but you can kind of miss the middle. In the middle, where there's so much memories for me around the Brayford. When I wasn't perfect when I was at university, I played too much pool. I was, again, sort of living in the moment a little bit, and maybe I haven't been as successful in later life as what I maybe should have been. I should have knuckled down a bit harder, maybe got a slightly better degree. I don't know to what extent that would have helped me progress any more than what I've done already in life, or maybe I wouldn't have progressed, maybe I'd have got worse, who knows. But I think it's so, I learned pretty quickly that, and I remember there was a specific moment, and I don't know whether I've shared this with you before, but I'm happy to share it again. It was a specific moment where I was thinking, it was 1999, and it was about October. So I'm going back a long time here, nearly 18 years almost. And I'll be honest, I found childhood difficult. My parents were great, but they wanted certain things from me, and I was always a bit different to the other kids. Looking back now, I was pretty close to being, I guess, autistic, I guess, if we use modern things. I was very pattern orientated, I liked order, I liked, you know, those traits were there, but probably more than the other kids. And I was very aware of my routine, my environment, my surroundings, and could get very affected by it. And I think that's the distinction I would make between me and standard kids. Like, I was always very aware of what was around me, how I felt about my environment, what I liked, what I didn't like, and I think that's sort of played into my education. You know, all I've ever wanted in my life is to feel purposeful and happy and enjoying myself. I'd never been one for, when it was bludgeoned into you as a kid, you've got to be, you know, almost you've got to be unhappy. You've got to find a job, you've got to be unhappy, you've got to do all this. I never bought into that, I really didn't. And I've always thought that it's about enjoying each day, because do you know how long we've got? And our consciousness is our own person inside. And, you know, even just looking back there, there's an A57 cafe as you come out of Lincoln. And I remember years and years ago, I lost a sales job. And I realised that my sort of future as a direct salesman, it was commission only, was doomed, absolutely doomed. I was rubbish at it, and I knew I had a financial disaster impending, and I ended up in there having a Diet Coke, thinking, how the hell do I fix this? What do I do? And so I've realised, you know, that kind of, it has to be about getting into a place where you're happy, where you've got everything covered, and you can just enjoy each day, experience life the way you want to experience it. Just go back to the moment when I realised for the first time that I had it was actually when I was at university in '99. I was at the Atrium building, we just drove past it way back then. It's off the road, so you couldn't see it. And that was kind of our main bit. I was in the library, I was in the building next to the Atrium. And I was in a group with some people. I remember the faces, not the names, that were in my sort of seminar class. We had an assignment that we had to do, and we met to discuss how the work was going to be divided between us. And and I just remember being in this meeting and just talking about the work, and everything was prepared, it was in hand. And I remember looking out to the view that I'm going to show you, or that I showed you earlier, where looking up to Lincoln North, which is now blocked by another building, sadly. And I remember thinking, wow, I like this, you know, I like this. And it really made an impression on me. I thought, it was that kind of moment where everything felt equal. Everything felt right. And I just remember thinking, that's a good feeling. I want to feel like this. This is how I imagined feeling as an adult when I was a kid. You know, that was what I wanted. And throughout the rest, you know, the future, I didn't feel that very often. I felt it once a few years back when we were in Clarke. We were in the Civic Centre building, and I love Civic Centre buildings. I love that feeling of localism, just functioning rather than it being about the bigger picture. I think it's why I like programs like Last of the Summer Wine, because everything seems simpler. And I remember getting that feeling there. I had another one when I was just randomly one night, I decided to go to a poetry evening, read some poetry with someone who I got to know, and that felt good because it was just something so different, so out of the norm of what people tell you that you should be doing. And I really got a kick out of that, because I'm not someone who loves convention. I'm quite happy to follow rules. I think that's why it makes me a moderate politician, but I don't like convention in terms of people telling me how I have to experience life, especially when that experience is supposed to be negative. So, you know, just coming out of Lincoln, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of when I had that experience back there in '99, going way back 18 years, and I felt right. And it's about finding that again. And I do note that I feel like I'm close to finding that again. That I'm just going to put this on the fan because it is quite warm here. If you notice me going red, that's probably why. So as I travel, you know, back towards the motorway for the long ride home, I'm sort of mindful of that. Now, what I was going to do, just as a brief interlude, is I was going to go straight on to Gainsborough, turn left at Moortree, but the notification that the accident that I was trying to avoid, the black spot appears to have gone on the A1 on the A1 website. It's no longer shown as a hotspot to avoid, so I'm going to keep going as a test. I may well get stuck, but let's be honest, guys, I haven't got a job to wake up to, so that's it doesn't matter. Now, what I do want to go into before this cuts me off is to talk about what happened with Lauren. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of the detail about what was said, what wasn't said. All I'll say is, and I may have misunderstood it, but I was under the impression that it was, by and large, it was in the bag. So I, you know, on that basis, I agreed to return and do the job that I, to be honest, didn't want to do, which was casework. Casework's a good job, actually, believe it or not. But 7 years down the line, I felt like I needed a change. I want to go into sort of community development work, something that's a bit less public facing. I've done public facing now for 15 years, and what I've realised in jobs, and what you've got to be careful of if you're watching this, is that you eventually become an expert in what you do, and you get more of it. Doing the donkey work to try and get to the good stuff won't work, because that you become skilled in that and therefore desirable for those tasks, you know. And that's what I found in my own work, was that people wanted me for the public facing stuff when in fact I wanted to get out of it. So I wanted to get out of the casework. It felt the right time to do it when my employer had moved on, but I was interested, if it was possible, to stay in the MP's office in order to, you know, do that promotion essentially. And I would have done it well, no doubt about it, but she wanted something else, and therefore I have to move on. So what I'm facing now is a rather odd situation, whereby having come before the council, which is less than what I used to get, and I have a mortgage to pay and all that sort of thing, but I actually have time where I can just sit back and do that without the pressure. And for the first time that I'm in my own home, I don't have my parents, my dad telling me. I mean, they probably will tell me this. I'm just going to get my, so I've got one about to pass a toll bridge, she'll hear me give her the money. If I can just find 40 pence, because that's exactly how much it costs. Is I'm not going to have the pressure from other people telling me that I should be finding this work, or that I should be somehow you know, doing this work, and it's going to be an odd feeling, because I feel like I've won. I've almost achieved what I've aimed for the first time, and that's a weird feeling. And if I'm honest, that really is an odd feeling, because most of the time it's been, you know, a promise of something, or that somebody said to me, you know, if you do this work, you'll get X. If you do X, you'll get Y, and Y is what I really want. This is the first time that I'm actually where I want to be, right in the middle of it, doing the job that I want to do. And then obviously the worry then becomes to keep it. But in the short and medium term, I don't have to really worry about that, because you know, that's just, it's there, and I've got it. So just because I'm probably going to be posting this on my vlog channel, I might put it on both the vlog channels actually, just some wisdom from the road. My goals in the short term are to do more exercise and to have a better diet. I've definitely let that go. I'm probably the biggest I've ever been. I feel it, I look it. I'm not getting too bogged down in it, getting too upset in it, because I am what I am, and I'm at the age where finding a woman at a young age now is no longer possible for me, because I'm too old now. I'm 36. I can find someone to share life with, but it's likely to be, you know, a compromise of some sort. Either they have children, or that are able to have children, something like that. I would like to do those things. So bear with me a second, guys. I'm about to go through the toll. No, that's not that window. I'm going to go through the toll bridge, so you'll have to just hold on a second. Of course, we're stuck behind a Royal Mail truck, so that's going to be great fun, driving the next 12 or so miles to the motorway. Probably stuck right behind the Royal Mail truck. That'll be definitely going to the motorway, I would imagine. God knows what he had to pay to get through there. The rest of the cars, just 40p per car, so you just sort of have your 220s. The worst one was I was behind the other day, and you make a choice to go through either one of the two, and of course I went behind the guy who paid with a tenner, so that was good. About 5 or 6 cars shot across the other side straight through, and I didn't. Anyway, here we go. Just got to go to the toll bridge. 40p. Here we go. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Right, so off we go. Window up, and this is where you feel like the journey really begins. So quick drink. So yeah, just in terms of the channel and the blog, I'm going to be looking at things like a Twitch schedule. I'd like to do something like that as a complete unplug to conventional life like I've done before. I need time to get my head around the change. I'm a very thoughtful person. Like I say, I'm borderline on these kind of antisocial. I spend a lot of time on my own, and you know, I'm good with people, but I'm better in small groups. If there's one person here, I can have lovely, deep, honest conversations with them. But if you fill the car with 7 or 8 people, I get a bit nervous. I get a bit kind of that sort of bullshit, everyone talking, sort of doesn't. I find it less fun. For example, years ago I used to want to go into Big Brother house. The reality is I was never suited to it, ever. I would have struggled with the group thing, unless I loved everybody, unless I had a real connection with everybody. If there was 2 or 3 dippies, and to be fair, that's the type of people to put in there, I would have really struggled with that. But anyway, as it happens, I've been watching that with my sister, the new Big Brother series, and I'm probably going to keep watching it when I get home. So yeah, the plan is to kind of do a few more videos. I've definitely let that slip over the last year or so. I've managed to get, I think I've got 770 subscribers, maybe 777. A lot of them probably don't watch me now. I always get good hits when I put the VP4 stuff on. I don't know what the future is for that game. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm definitely active on YouTube. I'd like to do more vlogs. The reality is I'm going to have to fill my time in more with thoughts that one of the problems I've got, and I'll be really honest with this, is that I find myself obsessively watching how-to videos on how to make money, how to, you know, start a business, how to be better in a person, and I can watch that literally all day. So I've got to be careful that that doesn't become my life, watching how-to and never actually doing it. So again, I need to be, you know, mindful of where I am. I'm planning on being much more disciplined with my diet. And there goes a person overtaking me, very good. Highway maintenance. I plan to be very organised with that. I plan to be more in tune with wellness while I've got the time to do it. because I think one of the problems that you have, certainly that I have recently, is that you can get very, very taken by politics. It can really grip you in a very personal way, you know. It's so, and it really is interesting. Like, some people who don't like it will be like, right, what's you on about? But I find it also interesting, and from the inside, when you're on the inside track, even in a small way like I was, you understand it better. You get the sort of the whys, the what fors, you know, the reality of what's going on. And the reality is that I'm a sort of moderate. I'm not like obsessively into Jeremy Corbyn or any of the leaders really. I couldn't really care who's in charge. I like the issues. I like the social justice side of things. I like what the Labour Party stands for. I appreciate other people have a different view. I think a lot of it becomes the kind of football bravado where it's like, well, I just like them because I support them, and they don't really know why. I've definitely taken the time to fully understand why over the years. But I think it's time to sort of take a step back a little bit. Albeit I'm still a councillor, I've still got to be political, but I'm going to try and be more balanced in my overall approach to life, and that's going to be my kind of thing on that. So I guess, guys, there's probably not a great deal more to say really at this point. I hope you enjoyed the trip, because like I say, it's been a bit of a pilgrimage. You know, I knew that by formally ending my time in the office, my life now completely takes on a different feeling, and again, as you know, I'm very in tune to that, in terms of what I'm doing with myself and the focus that I'm putting in. It's no longer about the MP's office anymore. I'm not part of it. It's going to take time for everybody around the local politics party to understand that I'm no longer part of it. I know I'm no longer going to get to know stuff and hear what's going on. You know, I obviously wish the person in charge, Laura, I wish her all the best in the role. You know, there's no acrimony whatsoever. I feel a little bit disappointed with how it happened. I think that could have probably been done a little bit better. But at the same time, I had a fair opportunity, I think, to do it, and I think I came really close. I think if the person who got the job didn't get it, I would have probably got it. And that would have been great, if I'm honest. I would have really been happy about that. It would have come at a cost. It would have been the fact that I had to stay there, and you know, there'd be no sort of new start, which I was, to be honest, reasonably open to. But now I've got that, and it's what I wanted, so now I've got to start thinking about what to do with it. So as I drive home tonight, that's on my mind, and I hope you enjoyed the vlog. As you guys know, I'm ambitious, I can talk, hold a sentence together, so it's about now building my profile as a councillor, talking more in the group, talking more at council, and just seeing where this takes me. And who knows, I might end up in Parliament one day, I don't know. We'll wait and see on that. But at the same time, it's like I say, it's about enjoying what I'm doing. That is it. If you can enjoy what you're doing each day, and when you get up, if you're saying, oh, I don't want to go there, like, for God's sake, do something to change it. You know, anything. It's took me, Christ, it's took me it took me 9 years to get what I had, and I've enjoyed it for 7 years, but there's still been a slow progression where it was time to do something new, and that's taken me a long time as well. So there you go, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed that video. 24 minutes I think is long enough, probably too long, but I've been driving along and feeling good about that. So I hope you enjoy the video. Get subscribed to the vlogs if that's where I post it. I think that's where I'm going to post it. All sorts of stuff coming up on terms of new ideas and wellness vlogs on my vlog channel, so check out Northeast Vlogger. And then if you enjoy the sports gaming videos, keep an eye out for Twitch and general YouTube videos, because like I say, that's going to be part of what I do to enjoy myself. It's what I like doing, so I'm going to share it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. So thanks guys for watching. I've got probably another good 3 hours drive, so I'll see you guys on the next video, and bye for now.